Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Relaxed Bee. I am Taya Sophie and thank you so much for tuning in today. On this channel, I enjoy talking about healthy hair practices as well as sharing my own personal hair journey. If you do enjoy this content, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up for more videos. Thank you. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about hair shedding and some of the things that could potentially lead to excessive hair shed. Now let's get into it. You've just detangled your hair and now you're examining some of the pieces of your hair to see what's happening with your hair. It's very important to actually look at the strands and identify that what you're having is actually shedding. So shedding would typically have a bulb on one end of the strands of hair, and that's the way you'd know that the hair is actually shedding versus breakage. I do have a video that differentiates between the two and I can link it down in the description below. However, with shedding, it is a normal process. It's part of the natural hair growth cycle. All right, so here's a visual example of what shed hair would actually look like. Typically, they'd be about the same length as the rest of your hair. And if you take a really good look, you'd notice a little white bulb at the end of the strand of the hair. Loss, on the other hand, is when you have excessive hair shedding. On average, the average human would lose anywhere between 50 to 100 strands of hair every single day. So just think about it. That's less than 1% of hair that you're potentially losing off of your head, which is normal. However, when you are experiencing hair loss, you're seeing more clumps of hair falling out of your hair during one wash session or one detangling session. And sometimes that's not always a pretty thing or a very scary thing to actually see. There are two main categories that would be impacting the rate at which you're shedding your hair. One would be your internal factors, and the second one would definitely be external factors. A great place to actually start to assess your excessive shedding would be your internal stressors. Your internal stressors will include things like your diet, your nutrition, as well as any vitamins or hormonal changes you may be experiencing. And don't forget your stress levels as well could definitely impact the rate at which you're shedding your hair. I would definitely recommend a doctor visit just to get any tests done to assess where you are and to see if there are things that you could be potentially supplementing either through diet or through some type of vitamin intake. The second thing that would definitely contribute to excessive hair shedding would be some of the external stressors that we're actually responsible for putting on the hair. So think about how tight your hairstyles potentially are. Is there a lot of tension against the root of your hair? Tight hairstyles is the one way in which we can actually reduce our own impact on the rate at which we're shedding our hair. So making sure you're moving away from tight hairstyles as much as possible by just doing simple low manipulation hairstyles that won't put too much tension on the roots of your hair and potentially take your hair strands out of their normal growth cycle. But if you are someone who does enjoy wearing different types of protective styles, it'll be very helpful to pay attention to how many times you're doing your part on a specific place. So if the first time you do a protective style, your parting is on the left side, the next time you do a similar style, try and put it in the center or try and use the other side. It'll help relieve the amount of tension that you're putting on one side of your head and making sure that all of your strands get some relief at some point during your protective styling process. That's it for today's video. I really do hope that this content was very useful in helping you identify how to see whether or not you are experiencing excessive shedding and some of the factors that you could start looking into that would help you in preventing or reducing your own contribution to excessively shedding your hair. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.